Okay, so did you know that sleeping less than 7 hours per night increases the risk of obesity by 55%? So this is something that we address all the time with my patients. Many of them struggle with weight management and energy, but a lot of times when we improve sleep, the weight starts to drop. It starts to come off more easily. And today, we're connecting the dots between movement, sleep, and metabolism. I'm Dr. Adelola Ashaye. I'm a board-certified family medicine and lifestyle medicine doctor, and you're listening to Connecting the Dots with Dr. Ashaye, which is a great place to be if you desire to take charge of your health so you can live fully while enjoying doing what you love. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is movement, and then we'll go into sleep. So by now, a lot of us know that exercise is important, but there are specific types of exercise that help really in supporting our metabolism. And one of them is strict strength training. So the reason strength training is so important is it actually increases our resting metabolic rate. So what does that mean? So our resting metabolic rate is the amount of energy our body burns when we're rested. So basically, just to keep ourselves alive, our body is working all the time, right? Our heart is beating, our lungs are breathing, our brain is thinking, our cells are repairing. All these things require energy. And that's what our body does, even when we're not moving, our body is working. So if you think about your body like a car, the engine is always on. So even if you're not pressing the gas, you're not going anywhere, the engine is still running. And your engine still needs fuel to run, right? And so it's the same thing with our bodies. We're always burning calories even when we're at rest because they're essential functions that need to go on even when we're sitting on a couch, right? So the reason strength training is important is because when we do strength training, it increases that rate. It increases the rate at which our body uses energy so that we're able to burn calories at rest, burn a higher amount of calories at rest. And research about this has been found in Science in Sports and Exercise Journal. So strength training twice a week can increase our resting metabolism by up to 7%. So for those that are working on lowering their weight, managing their weight, strength training is a great addition to the regimen because it will help to increase how much energy your body is using even at rest. And we know that your resting metabolism is influenced by things like your age, muscle mass, even genetics and hormones. So the more muscle you have, the more calories you burn at rest, which is why strength training helps boost metabolism. So that's one thing you can already start to work on now. If you're already working on a regimen, you have something set up, include strength training. You don't have to do it every day. You just need to do it 2 to 3 times a week. All right. The next thing I want to discuss today is the link between sleep and how it regulates our weight. And this matters because we know that people who sleep less than 7 hours a night have a 55% higher risk of obesity. And this was found in the Sleep Health Journal in 2016. So the goal is to aim for 7 to 9 hours of sleep and to try to maintain a consistent bedtime. So we've talked about this multiple times on this channel, so you can look back and see a lot on what we've talked about on sleep. There's so much evidence about sleep and how it affects our health. And we know by now that sleep is not just resting. It's actually working hard behind the scenes to keep us healthy. So sleeping is a free, cheap, easy way for us to really, really take care of our health. And the reason being hunger hormones, so there are 2 hormones, ghrelin and leptin, that are affected while we sleep. The ghrelin is the hunger hormone. It's a hormone that tells our brain that we're hungry. And when we don't get enough sleep, the ghrelin levels go up, So it makes you feel hungrier the next day. And you may already have noticed this, and maybe you didn't understand why. And that's because your body needs energy somehow, and you didn't get it by resting. And so now it's going to get it somehow by reaching for things that are unhealthy more often, because it's trying to get the energy it needs to do what it needs to do. The other hormone, the leptin, that's the fullness hormone. This tells your brain when you're full, and sleep helps keep the leptin level steady so that you don't overeat. But when we don't get enough sleep, that leptin level goes lower so that it makes us feel like we're not full, we're not satisfied. And so it's important to know that sleep is actually regulating our hunger hormones. So getting enough sleep is really important so that our hunger hormones are properly regulated so that we're able to properly, manage, do what we need to do. And it's really hard to fight our bodies. Our bodies fight hard. Those hormones fight us back really hard. So it's important to do our best to cooperate with our bodies, cooperate with the natural way our body works so that we're more successful in achieving our health goals. The other hormone I want to talk about today is cortisol. And so by now, many of us know that cortisol is a stress hormone, and it helps us manage stress and energy levels. But we know that when we have too much cortisol, especially when the cortisol levels are high for a prolonged period of time, we understand that that causes problems, right? So during sleep, cortisol naturally goes down so our body can rest and recover. But if we're not getting enough sleep, then the cortisol level stays high. And so it makes us feel stressed, tired, and also more likely to crave unhealthy foods. So really important to sleep to lower that cortisol level as well. The other thing to understand is that when we sleep, our brain is not sleeping. Our brain is actually taking that time to organize things, to store memories. It's kind of sorting files. It's like sorting files in a computer. It also takes that time to clear out waste products. It's almost like taking out the trash, helping us, keep what is important, get rid of what is not, so that our brain can remain sharp and prevent long-term damage. So sleeping is a way to get smarter, in other words, right? So if you feel like, you're foggy all the time, you're not clear about what to do, and it may be that you need to sleep so your brain can clean up, organize, and so that you can get up the next day and feel a lot better. And sometimes, if you have not been sleeping for some time, it does take time for your brain to get all these things done and clean everything up and get to a place. But for many people, it doesn't take that long, a few days, a couple of weeks. But if you do intentionally prioritize sleep, it does make a difference. The other thing that happens during sleep is that our muscles get repaired, our body gets repaired as well. So our body repairs muscles, our body burns fat more efficiently during deep sleep. And this is why good sleep is important, because that's when the body has the opportunity to efficiently burn fat. And so it's important that if we are working on regulating our weight, that we should not ignore how powerful sleep is in helping us to do that. So in summary, sleep helps us control our hunger, it helps us reduce stress, it helps us sharpen our brain, and it supports our body's healing and metabolism. And that's why getting enough sleep, 7 to 9 hours a night, is really important in terms of regulating weight. So if this has helped you so far, make sure to subscribe, and you don't want to miss another episode. So go ahead and subscribe. Also, please share with someone that might need this. And if you are ready for personalized care, you're in the Houston area, you're tired of changing doctors, you're looking for one consistent doctor that will help you reach your healthcare goals, come work with us. That's what we do at InTouch Primary Care. And you can find information about our practice in the caption. All right, so things that we've learned. We've learned about how movement affects helps to regulate our weight and specifically about strength training. We've learned about sleep. And so next steps, if you're listening, it's what we do that counts. So try to move for about 30 minutes a day, but also try to incorporate 2 days where you're doing strength training. And it could be for about 10 minutes, 5 minutes to start with. Whatever you can start with, just start. And then the other thing, prioritize sleep. You need to prioritize sleep, 7 to 9 hours of sleep as often as you can. And by just doing those two things, it can very, very much affect your weight and help regulate your weight. I hope this helps. Have a good rest of the day. And remember, if you or your loved ones, if you or you have loved ones that are delaying your care because of healthcare inconveniences or even because of lack of a health plan or health insurance, let people know about our membership program. We're here to help. You can have one consistent doctor that helps take care of your healthcare needs. All right, have a great day.